Well, before we do, I like to pray for this beautiful business clinic. Okay. Thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for everything that you give us. Thank you for legacy, because we know legacy was a part of your great plan. So we just pray for each business person here today, for their business, for their mind, that you renew it, that you help them, that you lead them. And we're just thankful for this time. And we give it to you, and we ask that you flourish through us, that you give us the ideas, the creativity, that you open up our minds. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, let me turn off my phone. So for those of you that don't know, I am a grandma. And I'm so excited. I know. It's been like so amazing. I don't even know. Like, I didn't have her, but I felt like I had her. It was weird. So weird. But anyway, let me get focused back on, I'll give you all the details after. So on Proverbs 16:3, it says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. So I think one of the first things for mindset is your identity, is knowing who you are. Who am I? And when we come into real estate, we are not confident people at all, because we don't know how to do anything. We don't feel adequate on any of it, right? So your mindset is going to give you the ability to help you, even if you don't know, but at least understanding who you are in purpose and in life in general is going to help you with everything else. Because God says, if you know who you are, everything else he will establish, right? And I'm going to go into some biblical stuff, because mindset, I think, has everything to do with God. For me, it does. If you know your identity in him, then everything else is going to flourish pretty well for you. Like, you don't have to ever doubt in anything, because you know that he's going to establish all things for you. And for me, that's exactly how it's been. I started real estate 15 years ago. I knew nothing. I had nothing, but I knew one thing. I knew that God was my provider, and I knew that he was going to make the way for me. And he did. He really did. And everything that I did, I trusted in him. And even when we started Legacy, I trusted in him. I trusted in what he was going to do. I trusted that me and Shawn were going to be the great partners for it. And we have. So it's amazing. So that's one thing, is your identity, knowing who you are. So that way now you understand how you're going to move forward with your business. So that's one of the greatest things. So your mindset has to be that. So in Proverbs 23:7, it also tells you, as a man think in his heart, so he is. So if you already feel like you're a failure, if you already feel like you're not going to make it, that's exactly what you're going to do. And that's exactly how your results will be. But if you see yourself as a true entrepreneur that's going to be super successful, you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you pray and you say, I am successful. I can do this. I will do this. Everything changes within you, because now your tongue is the most powerful thing that you have. So if we're using it to build ourselves up, that's exactly what you're going to do. But I feel like a lot of times in our business, we use it to tear ourselves down, right? Instead of building ourselves up, we're like, oh, I'm not going to do this. I'm so tired. And I've done it a lot. And I've had to like literally check myself on it too, because we have to constantly, every day. A mindset is not like, right now, I'm going to renew my mindset and tomorrow it'll carry on for the rest of the year. No, it's something you do daily. It's a daily thing. So every day you're going to have to replace those bad habits with the good habits. So how are you going to do that? By every morning, I'm going to jump into time management. But before that, I want to prepare your mind for it, because that's important. How you flow with it is going to all determine on how you're thinking and how you're speaking about your business, about yourself, on what you're going to do with what's next. Because we all can agree this is a pretty tough business, right? We all can agree it's a pretty competitive business. So how you're feeling is super important. I left a little paperwork here. It's going to say legacy. It has what I'm talking about, the mindset. So your business is only going to grow to the level of your mindset. Build your faith, not your fear. So when you are thinking about how you're going to build your business, you're really going to have to really evaluate where your mindset is on all of this. So what is your why in your business? Which is what we all really came into real estate. You know, why did we all want to be a realtor? You know, a lot of people like, well, I want to build my own schedule, right? I want to be free. You know, I want to be able to be available and have time for my kids. Then you realize like, holy moly, this is like, I got to work the schedule. I didn't know that, right? So we're going to talk a little bit more on that, but your big why is so important because that is going to be the purpose of why you wake up every morning and you're renewing your mindset on why I'm doing this. You got to remind, why am I doing this again? Why am I waking up and going and getting yelled at sometimes by a client or going through a difficult transaction? It's because you want to leave a legacy for your family. It's because you truly want to help people build. Whatever your big why is, should be a big centerpiece on why you came into this business. If it's because you want to make more money, that might get a little tough because money can only get us to a certain level. I feel, to me, because it's beautiful, it's a tool, it's what we need, but people are by far the most important in our business, as for me it is, okay? So what fears or limiting beliefs have held you back? So what is something that, and I want you guys to write down on this so you guys can really be open. You know, this is for you. Nobody's going to see it. So this is for you to keep, for you to be able to evaluate because 2026 is going to come and you want to be ready for it and you want to start now. So this is why we have this business clinic, is because we want you guys to have your beginning of the year be the best year. So what fears or limiting beliefs have you held back? So what is keeping you from believing in yourself? What are the fears that you know are holding you back? And this is going to be what we need to overcome. So write one scripture that straightens your mindset when you're feeling discouraged. My favorite scripture is Jeremiah 29:11. That's my favorite because God knows the plans that he has for me. And it's plans for me to be prosperous, not for me to live in scarcity, not for me to be afraid, not for me to not know if I'm going to be able to make it next month or pay my bills or pay my dues or pay this or pay that. No, I live in a life of abundance because that is what God has said he was going to give me. So when I wake up, I am already living in a life of abundance. So that's like huge because when you come from like a family who has nothing, their like beliefs are like, no, we're never going to make it. We're never, like, we're going to live like this forever. And it's like, it took me a long time to break those bad habits and chains and everything to believe that I do deserve that life of abundance. And sometimes it's really just that, believing and knowing that you truly do deserve that. So those things that you need to let go of is really important. What new thought of affirmation will you live by this season? So what is, for me, like, I'm believing in the full strength of God. Like, he's going to carry me through every season and he's faithful in every season. So, and I don't want you guys to feel like, gosh, Jenny's going super religious. It's what my life is. It's who I am. So I have to give you what I am. If I give you anything else, it won't be authentic. It won't be who I am. So, for me, that's like the most important thing is every season God has something for you. And I know this season, it's like, he's already put me in a different moment of my life, but I'm loving it. And I know it's a season where my strength will grow and I will see his blessings through it. And you're going through your own season right now. And that season is so important. That season's going to do something for you. So don't let the moments of like, we're not going to have a perfect life. So you're going to go through chaos in your transactions, but how are you going to handle it? What is your mindset going to be in each of those with whatever you have in your business? If you're a team leader and you're dealing with some team issues? How are you going to handle it? How are you going to move with it? How are you guys going to set your goals moving forward? You know, those are all super important. So your old mindset, I'm too busy. Do we hear that a lot? Like, hey, why didn't you make it to the team meeting? Oh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy, Jenny. Like, oh, I didn't see you. I know I've been so busy. Okay. I'm disciplined and I'm controlled of my time. That's your renewed mindset. So we need to take control of our time. Okay. Clients, I just don't have no clients right now. I'm so slow. Like I'm just struggling, right? God is preparing the right ones for me. So before I used to think Abel was really weird because I like remember like I didn't live a life of abundance. Okay, guys. So it took me a while to understand the abundance of God. So he would wake up in the morning and he would like, believe it or not, he has like probably a lot more faith than me in so many things, but he would wake up and he would, you know, do his affirmations and he would be like, today I'm going to get 3 buyers. And I would walk through the bathroom and I'd be like, okay, you know, and then I would just go on my day. I didn't do no affirmations. I wouldn't do nothing. I would just walk out the door. And then he would call me, hey, I got a buyer. And I'm like, you did? How? He's like, they just called me. They just called me. I was thinking about them. They were thinking about me. And I'm like, how is that even possible? You know, how did they think about you and you think about them? That's like, there's no way. So then I started like, okay, maybe this does work. It works. The affirmation, the believing in yourself, believing in what God can do is so true. And I'm not even kidding you. He would always end up getting the same exact amount, 3 buyers, a seller. And he would call me, hey, you know, can you go help me show? And I was like, oh, like, I'm just your assistant, you know, like, hey, go help me because I'm so busy. But guess what? It was all about his mindset. It's your mindset. It's your mindset that gets you and takes you to where you want to be. So when you don't feel like you have clients, you declare you do have the clients. You say, God, you're preparing those 3 buyers for me this morning. Thank you, because we're going to connect at the store, at the gas station. I don't know, wherever you guys go every day, at the coffee shop, whatever it is, you know, you are already setting your mind that you're going to help somebody. So guess what? When you go see somebody, since your mindset's there already, you're going to be like, hey, I'm a realtor. I can help you, you know, instead of like, how are we when we're rushed? We're rushed. Like yesterday, me and my daughter, we were so rushed. We forgot the car seat. We forgot a few important things that we were like, but if we would have been prepared, we would have had it all. So if you wake up in the morning and you have that affirmation, that mindset, that you already setting yourself up for how your whole day is going to go. So if your day is chaos, everything around you will be just the same. So you be very careful how you have your mindset, because that's how you're not only going to carry your business, your family, your kids, your husband, everything around you is going to affect based on your mindset. I'm the one that says I'm always tired, because I am always tired. And now I have an excuse because I'm a grandma, so I'm really always tired. And I'm just kidding. But instead, it's like, I am strong and I am purposeful. So anytime that you do feel exhausted and tired and whatever, you remind yourself, no, I'm purposeful. I'm strong. I got this, you know, and that's going to encourage you. You like basically all day long, you're like reminding yourself of who you are, like prepping yourself like, hey, no, I'm strong. No, I'm strong. Like yesterday when Jenna was having her baby, she looked at me. She's like, Mom, I can't do this. I'm like, no, baby, you're strong. You got this. You were made for this. God created us to do this. Okay, you got it. No. Don't you do. And she would like doze off. I'm like, Jenna, you got to stay with me, girl. We got this. And I was like, oh my God, I was freaking out myself, you know, but it's all about how you do it. You know, I could have probably passed out with her, but I didn't. I knew I had to be the stronger person for her in that room. So, you know, I had my mindset set that I was going to help her through that. So same thing with our business, you know, like how do we see our business? How do we see ourselves as business owners? Because we are that, right? So if I'm going over my time, just throw something at me, please. Okay. So faith over fear. So in 2 Timothy 1:7, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. I love this because this is what he's already given us. You know, he's already told us who we are. So I love that he's given us the not a, like anytime you're fearful, you need to understand that is not for you. That is not you. That is not for you, but you have the power, the love, and a sound mind to be able to make those strong decisions. So list 3 fears you are surrendering today. So you need to write 3 things that you're surrendering today that is limiting your business, your mindset to be able to go to your next level. Okay, I'm going to hop over and I'm going to talk about time management. So, time management has been one of my least strengths in life, so over time, it's been something that I've had to understand to have, because believe it or not, but when me and Abel were just real estate agents, we never used the calendar. I don't even know how we helped all the clients we helped, because we really did not have a calendar. We wrote everything down on a piece of paper that half the time I would throw away when I would clean my car. So it would be like, oh my God, what time was I supposed to show that client? That's not the way to live. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. So in 1 Corinthians 14:40, it says, let all things be done decently and in order. God wants us to live a life in order. Like when everything is perfect, do you guys feel like, oh my God, there's something wrong? This is too perfect. I don't know. It doesn't seem right. No, that is actually the way you should live your life. You've just been so used to living in chaos and running out the door and being so unorganized and not having nothing. But that's really not the way that we should live. That's why we have a lot more wrinkles and white hair, a lot younger. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like, that is not the way we should live. We should really want to and strive to have a much more ordered life, a much more peaceful life where, you get to your appointments on time and you're so prepared because you have your calendar in order, right? And I'm in complete, I'm in living progress of that. I actually do work off of the calendar. There is times where I overbook myself, and that's something that I'm learning to understand. No, like you have to, before you say, because I'm a yes person. Yes, I'm gonna help you. Yes, I can do this for you. Yes, I can. And then I'm like, oh shoot, I had other things at that time. And now it's like, oh, now guess what? You have to have a difficult conversation, and then they're gonna be like, oh man, this girl's so unorganized. Like, she just told me yeah, now she's telling me no. Like, come on, But if you would have been like, what, give me a second, let me just look at my calendar. And you go in your calendar and you're like, you know what? I am not available at that time, but I will be available at 3:00. And it's like, okay, yeah, that will work. Your structure, you're in order, like it's you're a person who works, your schedule works for you. You don't work for your schedule. Okay. So you have to have a calendar. You have to work off something. So I'm going to have Anthony pull up a calendar for those of you, and I'm not going to have you raise your hands because it doesn't matter how you lived your last 10 months or however old you are, however long you've been in real estate. If you're not using a calendar, then let's start using a calendar today. Okay. So one of the things that we want is God operates in divine order. So the creation to your calendar as time blocking is about stewardship and excellence. So we know that we have a creator who is excellent in all things that he does. So why would we not want to be excellent in all the things that we do? We do stuff so half of the time, right? But he does everything so perfect. He made us so perfect. So you're going to figure out what works for you. By the way, this is not my calendar because I do not wake up at 5 or 4 in the morning. So that is actually somebody else's calendar in the room. That is not mine. So I'm more of the about 6:30-ish girl right about here. Okay. And I like to, either read the Bible or I like to listen to something. I have a book that I love reading right now. I'm reading the Esther Anointing. So it's like whatever is feeling to you, whatever gives you that. But every day I wake up and I have to remind myself, God, you created me for such a time like this. Whatever I have going on today, you go before me. because there's things that you need the grace of God to handle. Amen. Yeah, we can agree, because there's situations that you come and you're like, whoa, if I did not commit my ways to the Lord, we would have to probably not be here right now. So then we go down and you have like, however you're going, if your day really starts at the office between 8 or 9 o'clock, it's fine. That's your schedule. Follow it. So you're going to have, going into the office, and you're going to have your role player script or review your business plan. Lead generation should be a very important one. She's not here today, but Jackery is a one that I have to say, man, she is at the office every day. And I think there is people here, like Blanca's nodding her head. I see her too. And she literally closes her door and she's in that room. I don't remember her hours, but she's there for 2 hours, and nothing, and I'm saying nothing, can disrupt her lead generating time. And she has a successful business, and that is where she generates most of her leads. So if your lead generation isn't getting on that phone, we need to figure out what is your lead generation. If it's door knocking for 2 hours, then it's, putting your phone down for 2 hours and really focusing on that, if that is what you love to do. Everybody has what they want to do. It's just about getting it done. So then you have your, well, I'm going to go off of this one because Shawn has it does have the lead generating, which is really important. And then you have your follow-ups, you have your escrows that you're with, your clients that you need to follow up with. Don't forget about your past clients. That is part of your lead generating. So many people were so focused on the new that we don't think about the people we've already serviced and the people that we can continue to service moving forward. So then you can go and have your lunch and recharge and do whatever you want from 12 to 1. And then you come back and that's when you schedule your appointments. You schedule your showings, you schedule whatever you have going on. And you always want to make some time for you to grow in knowledge. So you always have to have at least 1 hour a day to do some kind of training on KV Core. Like, there's so many things that are useful to the agents, but we just go, and we're never filling up our cup. But we need to stop for a second and fill our cup up so we can continue to service and give what we need. Do you guys agree? And then you have your, and then from 6 on, it could be your family time. I don't know your schedules. I know some of you guys have a full-time job. So it's like you guys work a lot more hours. Guys are working maybe till 8, 9 o'clock. So it can get exhausting. Remember, Shawn's going to cover work-life balance, but for the time management, and I feel like for your mindset, you do need to have a balance. So work hard, but take care of your family, because that's like the most important thing that you have. Okay. So don't forget that. So now we're going to go. So everybody has a Google Calendar. Yes. Okay. So everybody here and everybody on Zoom should have our legacy calendar in there somehow. If you don't, you need to see us, because you're missing out on all the Zooms that we offer. So that's another thing, is if you have our calendar linked to yours, you wouldn't overlap appointments with our trainings, because you will know, oh no, I can't because I have a Zoom at that time with Shawn, or even if you're a team leader, if you teach your agents under you, they won't overlap your calendar that you have. So making sure they have the calendar and they're using it, and we're reminding them of how important it is. So I hope this helped you guys. Reflection. So what areas of your business is God calling you to bring to order? So whatever it is, if you feel that you're really struggling with your mindset, then that's something that you need to really focus and build those good habits on. Same thing with your calendar. It's not about like tomorrow you're going to be the perfect calendar person. It's like you're starting today and every day. It's something that you're working on. For those that have never read the book Atomic Habits, it is a great book because it's all about habits. You're replacing your old habits with new habits and good ones, so you're no longer just going to throw say yes to things without making sure they're on your calendar, without making sure that your calendar is working for you and you're not all of a sudden now running around and not in order. Okay. So, last thing is commitment statement. This week, I will honor God with my time by showing up consistently and intentionally. So this is more for you. So you're going to show up for you. And of course, if you believe in God and you want to do that, I think that's the best. So that's a person that will never fail you. So you will be able to say, hey, I'm going to commit to renewing my mind every day and working on my calendar every day. So it's an everyday thing. And this is going to help you. So for those of you that didn't hit your goals last year, this will help you hit your goals next year. So, but it's going to start with what you do from what you take on from this business clinic moving forward, because all this is great. But if you're not putting it into action, then it's just going to be like any other event we go to and we don't really implement any of it. So thank you guys. I'm going to go ahead and have, is it going to be Mount or you? Shawn is going to be coming up. Oh, I think I'm like time management great because I only had 30 minutes and it's 10:30. So, hey.
Check that out. Yeah. So she's on it. Jenny, man, she killed it. I'm telling you, time management is the key to success in your business. What she went over right now, and I use Google Calendar, by the way. It doesn't matter what calendar you use. I just noticed that with my Google Calendar, I can color code it, which you can with the others. I can open it up on any device out there. Your Apple Calendar is great, but can you open it on an Android? And you know there's Android people in the room. You know, I'm sorry to say, those of you that struggle with the Android, those of you that struggle and haven't transitioned yet, I'm telling you, Google's the way to go. I love my Google Calendar. All right, so this is our third year, everyone. Wow, third year doing a business planning clinic. This is the first one we've done in person, though, right? And I like this venue. I like it's great. And by the way, we have probably 35, 40 people on the Zoom right now. 23. Boy, I'm way off. But hey, that's 23, better than what we have in here. So that's great. Let's go ahead and hit it. You want me to control it? Can I click it? Awesome. Thank you. That works perfect. You guys know who I am. I'm Shawn Cardoza, and I'll tell you that I did write a book recently, and if you didn't get it, I've got about 20 left. If you want some, let me know. Hit me up afterwards. Boy, I got 2 already. 2 of 20. I have 18 left. So if you guys want, oh, there's 17 left. Boy, we're bidding it. So I have some left. Afterwards, I'll bring them in. I left them in the car, and you guys can definitely grab one when we come in. One is, let me pray for you all real quick. This is an important part of your business, is spending some time in whatever spiritual that you're choosing to do. I choose to pray, and I choose to pray for you. So God, I pray for all these people in this room that you'll bless their business in 2026. We know, God, that if we focus on you, you focus on what you have planned for our life, you focus on the people and serving and making this more of a ministry, that we know you'll lead the way. There is no way to fail if we do it through you. No way to fail if we do it through you, God. So we give our businesses to you. We pray, Lord, you'll bring the people our way that you have planned for us to work with in 2026. And that starts now. Well, relationships we're nurturing now, people we're talking to now, people we're checking in on to see how they're doing in their life, because everyone's going through something in their life, God. We know that. And we know that because of that, you placed us here in their life to help them, to call them, to nurture them. And it may not be real estate at all whatsoever. And that's the focus. And because of that, though, we know that you'll just bring those relationships to us. And we pray you'll just bless us with more relationships, more people, and everyone in this room, that you just set them up, line them up with the people, put it on their mind, on their hearts, of who they need to call each day and check on, and just see how they're doing in their life. We pray, Father, for these people, for everyone in this room, everyone on the Zoom, and you'll just bless their business in 2026. Jesus' name, amen. Awesome. So let's see. I hit the wrong button and I screwed it up. Legacy. I'm going to tell you that name Legacy, if you just think that we just threw it up in the air and said, hey, let's choose Legacy, I'm sorry to say, it's not correct. What it is it's the legacy that, we all realized that there was an amazing man that we all got to know in our life named Kevin Blaine. Not every one of you have had a chance to know him and work with them, but those of us that did, one thing that he taught us was that, what we choose, those relationships we choose to work on, those people we choose to call, the things we choose to do. He taught me that, hey, I know why you mow the lawn, Shawn, because it's good. You like to get out there and rest. And I go, yeah, I like to listen to some worship music. And he goes, great, it's awesome. That's what you should do. You need to do that and do it because you want to do it. But just know that how many more relationships could you be nurturing the time you're mowing the lawn? How many more people could you reach out to? You can hire that out to someone that needs the work and let them go do that job. And you can go talk to so many more people. And I thought about that and I thought, yeah, I mean, is that getting selfish? I guess not, because I'm giving someone a chance to do a job to work on my yard and I'm paying them a fee. And what am I doing? I'm getting out there nurturing more relationships. So it does go hand in hand, doesn't it? Those are the things that Kevin taught us, is the way that we focus our business mindset, if it's more relationship based. And he brought so many of us together. How fast did we grow up to almost 60 agents on the team? That's a brokerage. So we literally were closing 1,500 units in a year, the year he passed away. And Keller Williams closed 2,500 total. We were closing more than half of what the entire brokerage was closing. And that was all because of the relationships. He brought us all together. And so the word legacy, we came up with, actually Laura brought it up. We were throwing names out and we thought, you know what? Yeah, we want to continue Kevin's legacy. And we want to bring people together that also want that desire to continue that legacy. And I want you to know there's other brokerages out there that are starting in the community. And I have to say, guys, there's some trickery going on. So be careful with the people you're talking to in these other brokerages, because is their mindset where it really needs to be? Are they truly have your best interest in mind? Do they want to bring a community of people together that love the Lord, that love families, that want to nurture relationships? So make sure you're asking yourself those questions when they start approaching you. I had to say it, Jenny. I'm sorry. So just be careful, guys, because you're in a good place. And it's not the brokerage you're at. It's you. You're the one that leads your legacy. Surround yourself around people that want to help you lead your legacy. That's important. All right. So first, real estate business plans are essential for two reasons. First, they provide a roadmap for agents to follow as they work to build their business. So your business plan you're choosing to put together is literally a roadmap, and you just have to follow it. It's like plugging it into your dang GPS and just saying, go, take me there. You pre-plan your trip. That's what putting your business plan together is all about. Pre-planning that trip, setting it up, and all you got to do is go through the motions. That's it. And guess what? If you get derailed off there, what happens? What did it used to say? It used to say, retracking or recalculating. That was the old GPS, right? You remember the old recalculating, you're off track. Does that happen to you? Do you recalculate and get back on track, or you just get farther and farther off track and choose to not follow the path? That's typical real estate agents, guys. Are you a typical real estate agent where you're going to allow that to happen? If you get derailed off your business plan, the reason why these forms that we do in the beginning is there so you can look at them daily, weekly, monthly, hopefully at least weekly, if not daily. Follow the business plan. Stay on track. It gives you a reminder of what you plan and what you want to do. And what is that plan? What is your why? Why do you want to do that? Is it family? You want to help your family do more? Is it vacations? Is it serving the community? We got to do this with Olive Legacy. Whoever wanted to go 2 years ago, we went and build homes for people in Mexico together. These are legacy people on here. And we were supposed to go, but both Jenny and I got sick. I think you got sick and I was in Idaho and I got sick. Egil had his appendix issue. Yeah, we were all planning to go, like literally ready. I had a flight schedule I had to reschedule because I ended up getting pneumonia or something. I can't remember what it was, but talk about being derailed, or maybe the evil trying to force me to not to get to go serve, because I've wanted to do this for years. I can't wait to do it again. We're going to do it again, guys. We're going to set that up. But is that your why? You want to serve more people? This was amazing. Look at this, getting to pray over people. This house that we built from ground up, that Legacy built. It was so much fun. And these are great whys. What is your big why? What is your vision? Are you a visionary? What is a visionary? Is it that you want to own a lot of real estate? Or is it like Jenny and Abel and you want to flip some houses? What is it? What's your why? I'm telling you, I made a goal this year. I wanted to flip 10. I mean, Abel made a goal. He wanted to flip 100. I'm up to 5 right now, and I'm trying to buy a couple more. Am I going to hit my goal? Probably. I may not hit my goal. I may not make it. But hey, here's a few people coming in the door right now that actually got to go on that missions trip. They missed the time management segment, though. Oh my gosh, guys. I just showed pictures of building homes in Mexico. You just missed it. So they were in the pictures. They can tell you it's an amazing opportunity. They've done it multiple years now. How many years have you guys done this? Building homes in Mexico. 5 years now. Every year for 5 years? Consistently. Talk about a big why. Every year they've been able to go and enjoy that opportunity. So if you want to do that, hit these people up right here. They'll get you going. We're going to get Legacy going again. We got to do that again. This time I'm not getting sick, and this time Abel's not going to have an appendix burst. Now, is it that you need a new car for the family? I mean, I need this one for my family. It's very needed. It's wanted. Not needed. Is it a vacation you want to go on? What is your big why? I don't know if this is going to play. Can you try to play it? See if you can scroll over there. Oh, can't use your little mouse there. Turn up the volume.
On Monday morning, 8 people get ready to go to jobs jobs that are making them sick. What is it that you can drop during 7 days a week that'll bring a smile to your face? You've got to start saying yes to your life. You've got to start saying yes to your freedoms.
Yes, get excited. Yes, say yes. Let's go. Yes, get excited. Go flip a tire.
Share with you how you can begin to make this your decade. How many of you know when you do something, you ask yourself a question: have I done all that I'm capable of doing or being and living up to my potential? How many of you have to really answer, no, I have not done all that? Raise your hands, please. Okay, very good. Now, here's what we know: that people don't know what they know in life. What they do is they operate in the context of the vision they have of themselves. So what I want to share with you is how to begin to get a live vision of yourself and how to begin to make this your decade. Because in order to do that, it's going to be very challenging. It's going to require a lot of work on your part. An ongoing process of personal and professional self-mastery is going to require that you begin to see yourself worthy of the requirements in terms of effort, in terms of commitment, in terms of action, in terms of preparation, or whatever it is that you need to do in order to take your life where you want to take it. So one of the first things I ask you to do is I want you to look at your life right now and think about something that's important to you, something that gives your life a sense of value. Think about something that you'd like to have or something you'd like to create for you or your family or for society. I want you to hold this thought in mind. Now, one of the first things I want you to do is don't worry about the inner conversation that you're going to have. Don't worry about how you're going to do it. That's going to come. You're going to develop a plan of action. You will find the way. You will become the kind of person that can attract the people, the resources, and everything you need.
All right, so this is what I want you to do real quick. I want everyone to kind of get comfortable, okay? Back your seat up, back your chair up. Get comfortable right now. I'm going to have you do a little exercise real quick. Okay, get comfortable so you can put your hands maybe on your knees. How about that? That means you got to back your chairs up if you have to and get comfortable, okay? Now I want you to close your eyes. And this is, promise me, just bear with me. Close your eyes for a second, all right? And the first thing I want you to do is just feel the tension in your neck, because you have tension in your neck right now that you don't know about. Kind of move your neck around, release that tension in your shoulders, in your neck, kind of move your shoulders around. Don't worry, your eyes are closed. No one can see you if you look funny. Don't worry about it. Just get rid of that tension and just feel the tension going out of your shoulders, out of your neck, all that stress you've been having, the kids at home that you've been dealing with, the maybe sick parents that you're dealing with. Get that tension out of your shoulders and just kind of relax those shoulders. Now let's think about your hands. If you think about it and you think about the tension coming out of your hands and your arms, your fingers, maybe shake those fingers a little bit on your knees there and just kind of get that, feel that tension out of your shoulder,
May we help you today?
out of your knees. and just kind of release that tension
Okay,
out of your arms. Now
so
think about
please
your
check
feet,
yourself
your
in.
legs, your knees. Maybe wiggle your knees back and forth a little bit. Just feel that tension out of your knees, out of your feet. Now feel it out of your ankles, and it's out of your body, and you just feel relaxed, fully relaxed and calm. Now, right now, no tension in your body. You actually have a moment to sit and rest for 1 second. Just rest for 1 second, guys. Just get that tension out.
Yeah,
And I want you to
your
kind of think
Gloria.
right now about
Yeah.
2026. Just think
Sue not
about what
here.
January
Can
1st is
you,
going to look
anyone
like.
can help you?
Second, the first week, the first month, and just think
Yeah.
about what you're hoping to happen. Something
Yes,
cool,
I
some
saw
sort of
your
big
appointment,
thing you would
but
like to reach
we
that
we
year,
don't have Sue
where
here.
you would like to be.
I don't know that
Whether it be
you talk
maybe
because
2 under
the
contract the
person,
first year, first month, maybe it's
maybe
3, maybe
she,
it's 5, maybe
yeah,
it's 10
maybe
that
she not
first month
understand that
in
you,
January, and how
we
you want to
not
get through that whole year.
realize
Just think
that you
about,
want
you know,
Sue.
what it is you want to do, that
Yeah.
big why, that big thing you want to hit,
Yeah.
that family, showing your kids how hard you worked, showing your
But
family
can
how
I
hard you
help you,
worked,
or you
and you
have to
reached
be
the
with
goals,
Sue?
and how successful that feels,
Yes, I
the
can help you.
excitement that you have inside that you've been able to do it. You're relaxed, you're calm, you feel good, and just take a deep breath through your
So I
nose
don't know that what's
and out
you
your mouth and get
expecting
rid of
from
all that
Sue. You
tension.
can tell us whatever you want, and then we try to.
All right, you can open your eyes for a second.
Yeah.
Did
I've
you
been
feel how
here
that felt for just 1 second? Can
less
anyone
than
like
Sue,
just say
but
out loud?
I know how
Just
to
give us,
do the
raise your
pedicure
hand.
and
How did that
manicure.
make you feel for 1
If you
second?
give
Go
us
ahead.
me a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Oh, how long have you been here?
just release it,
10 years.
get it out, so you can live life. There's so
Okay,
much
well,
struggle
is
in
she
life.
gonna be here
We've all
today?
got
I
problems. The
know
person next to you
she
has something
already
going on in your life, and you've got to
different
be able to
location.
help
I don't
each
know
other,
where,
fix
but
each other,
she
pick each
not
other up.
working
You're at
here
different
anymore.
tables. I'm going to have you work together here
Yes.
in a minute to come up with some ideas. Blanca, we're going to
That's
have to
not
get some
good, 'cause
partners for
last
you.
time I got
We're going to literally, I want you to be able to visualize that. Now, every morning, what Jenny put on the calendar with that mindset, that getting your mindset right in the morning, think about if you started each day like that. She talked about atomic habits. The book Atomic Habits talks about sticking to those habits each and every day that's going to keep you on track. Now, if you just did what I did right now, that exercise, the reminder each day of just taking, literally, it was less than, if you're making an excuse saying you don't have time to do that, that's an excuse, guys, because that took 30 seconds to a minute max. It wasn't even a minute. It was less than that. And now you feel relaxed. You're ready to hit the day. You're ready to hit those time blocks. She talked about Jackery. I went in there yesterday. She was in there, headset on, ready to go, legit, ready to work. I mean, I've used her as an excuse many times. Back in the day when she first started, she used to call me all the time and say, "Hey, Shawn, can I do an open house on this one this week and that one? Can I use this one?" And we weren't on the same team. And heck yeah, Jackery, she was such a go-getter right off the bat. She figured out the secret sauce right away on how to do this consistently. Get her mindset right, get to work. I wish she was here because we would have her stand up and give her a round of applause because she's done it. She's stuck to it. Grab her. She's on your team. She's your partner here in Legacy. You can go talk to her and say, "Hey, tell me your day. What does a day in the life of Jackery look like?" Hit her up, guys. That's partnership. That's what we do here. We're business partners. That's what we do. We help each other. So reach out to her, ask her. Went in there, I had to go in there, and I opened the door quietly because I know her. You don't mess with her day. She used to put a stop sign on her door years ago that said, "Stop, don't bug me. I'm lead generating." That's where stop sign said on her door. Blinds were shut. She has no blinds. Probably need to get her some blinds on that door because I saw her in there and I walked right in. And she couldn't help it though. She got up and gave me a hug, and I said, "I am not going to mess with your right now. I'm just wanted to say hi and I'm out. I'm not going to mess with her." Oh, sorry about that. Just click over to the next one just to get out of that. There you go. Next one. There we go. Our mindset, and all of us are going to have a little bit of mindset, and then Matt's going to hit it home in the end. You're going to love what he has because what he has is going to combine us all together. But scarcity versus abundance. And I'm going to get real with you as a coach for a second, because if you have that mindset of excuses, constantly excuses, victim mentality. What is a victim mentality? Oh, the brokerage isn't doing it for me, so I'm going to jump to another brokerage. That's one. Oh, the team I'm on isn't doing it for me, so I'm going to jump to another team. That's two. oh, I just got too much going on at home. I can't, I mean, I got to get the laundry done. I got to do the dishes. I got to wash the car, or the guys. Oh my goodness. I can't make any money. So I'm going to go work for someone else. It's just not happening for me. It's not working out for me. Those are all victim mentality excuses, guys, not solution oriented. As a realtor, as a business owner, you create the solutions to the problem at hand, and you figure it out what it is. It's yours. Own up to it. It's yours. Big ego, lack of humility. Got to be humble and say, I need help. Hey, Jackery, can you tell me what you're doing? Because I need some help. I just need to know she will share with you all day long. What about Ernie Nichols? He's doing our Kaplan school now, and he loved it. He loved being able to nurture those new agents. He will help any of you to show you his success. Fear is the unknown. No excuses, positive mentality, solution-oriented, self-aware, humble, coachable. Are you coachable? Has a coach? Do you show up? Do you never show up to the calls and then you turn around and leave? And because the brokerage just wasn't doing it for me, but I've never seen your face in the coaching calls on Wednesdays. Never, not once. I've had that happen so many times in Legacy so far. And I said, well, why didn't they ever show up to our calls? Why didn't they call me? I would have given a one-on-one coaching. I'll give every one of you one-on-one coaching if you want it. So will Jenny. We'll do it. And we might even pay for a month or so of an actual coach for you if you're all in. And you're all in and ready to go. We will help you. We'll do what we need to do to help you. That's teamwork makes the dream work type of mentality. Embraces the unknown, does the uncomfortable. Daily mindset check. Psalms 121 says, I took my troubles to the Lord. I cried out to him and he answered my prayer. Prayer changes everything. God is creative. He changes things through prayer. Whatever you're praying, trust in God to move you. Trust him to get you going. But it starts with you doing some sort of mindset. I got a horrible joke. Gosh dang it. And someone told me this when I was a kid, okay? And you might have heard me say it before because I've said it a few times, but I just can't help it. It brought it to mind right now. Okay. So this guy goes and he starts praying and he says, God, I want to win the lottery. We all pray that God would help us win the lottery. Really? No. God, I want to win the lottery. Will you help me win the lottery today? Yes. He says, sure, you can win the lottery today. So he goes, yes. So then he goes into the day and he didn't win the lottery. And he goes, God, what happened? I didn't win the lottery. God, please let me win it tomorrow. Okay. I'll go. And then what? He doesn't win the lottery. And then it happens again the next day, doesn't win the lottery, but he's praying to God and God goes, you got to play. I can't let you win unless you play. You got to go buy a ticket. Now, God doesn't want he doesn't want you to win the lottery. I'm telling you, he doesn't want that horror on you. That would be horrible. You got to work for it, but he wants you to work for it. And if you ask God for something, expect that you're going to have to put in the work and he's going to use you as a tool as you put in the work. Right. I love it. I love it. Locus of control. So an amazing person named Julian B. Rotter in 1956 came up with this. And you have internal and external locus of control. Internal is, if I work hard, I will succeed. I am in control of my life. External is, why even bother trying? Most things are not in my control. And that's the quitter mentality, right? That's the quitter mentality. Do you have that? Start with the why. I love Simon Sinek. I'm telling you, I'm a big Simon Sinek fan for many years, probably 6, 8, 9, 10 years, maybe. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. They don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. If you believe in your product, enough to study about it every day and understand it so that you can blast it all over social media, you could have no experience, never sold a home in your life, but you get on social media every day and you're posting about real estate every day. People are going to start believing your product and they're going to trust you. Who is? Your sphere of influence, your people, your friends, your family, the people that trust you and love you and want more time with you, want you to take them to coffee, want you to do this and do that. They're going to be the ones that are going to trust you, but you got to believe in it. Be an innovator, not a follower. What does that mean? Well, if you're out there trying to do the same thing over and over again and it's not working, you've got to create something. You got to build something. You got to invent something new, which means we're not saying go invent the wheel. The products are probably out there. The tools are probably out there and you can do it for free. Very simple. It just takes work. So in police work, we call it beat feet. Means, we tell the crook, Get out of here, beat feet. Get out of here, get going. Well, I'm saying it in real estate, beat feet means you got to get on there and beat those feet on the ground, start working the neighborhoods, talking to people, doing pop buys, different ways to try to nurture those relationships over and over again. There's always a way to do it, but you got to be the innovator. You turn up the volume a little.
True innovation is solving a real problem. Just because we can do something doesn't mean we should do something. We can add digital screens to everything and put motors in anything, but doesn't mean we should. Like, what problems are we solving? You know? And truly innovative ideas solve a real human problem, whether the people understand that it's there or not, right? And organizations that are advancing something bigger than themselves are the ones that are able to innovate outside their own industries. This is why Virgin can be in so many diverse industries, but those in those industries can't go into any of Virgin's businesses. You know, Virgin can go into mobile, but, you know, T-Mobile can't start an airline. How is that? That's because one has defined themselves by their product or their industry, and the other one has defined themselves by bringing something to a product or an industry. And I've harped on a lot about Apple, but it's the same thing. Every single one of their competitors is equally competent to make every single product that Apple makes. If Dell wants to make MP3 players, they can, but nobody wants to buy an MP3 player from Dell. It's because one defines themselves by their product, and one defines themselves by something else that they can bring to an industry or product. I call it the why. I call it the sense of purpose, cause, or belief. And innovation fundamentally is about bringing something to a product or industry, not defining, just not trying to bring features and benefits. Features and benefits may be good, but I wouldn't call them innovative. They're just nice to have.
Mm. Why do people buy what you do? Why do they buy why do they buy why you do it or what you do? Do they buy your product? Start with why. Find your why. 2 great books. Write them down, guys. Those are books you want to read. Start with why. If you're looking for a new book in 2021, you've never read any Simon Sinek books, these are the books to start with. It's going to get you getting that mindset rolling on where you want to go. Start with why and find your why. What does this mean? If you don't believe in your product or service, why would someone use you? What is your purpose to tell people your product? What is your purpose? Get you thinking about this, all right? Your pitch. What's your pitch to your customer? What is your pitch? Does anyone want to stand up and say what your pitch is right now? What do you tell your customer right now if you got a customer call right now? What is your pitch? If they're saying they're thinking about buying a house, what are you going to say? Great. What can I do to help? Go for it, Oscar.
One-stop shop. You have a home to sell, you want to sell it. I can purchase a home. If you want to hold on to your home, I can get you connected with the right people to put your home on a rental contract. If it needs work, I have a contractor that can give you a quote to repair and possibly close that escrow. So you don't have to go anywhere else. You go through me and I take care of everything.
Nice. One-stop shop. I love it. Anyone else want to speak up and say what you're, go for it, Jeff.
I usually just start more personal and just say, hey, how are the kids doing? How's the family? What are you guys doing this weekend? Can we get together? And if it does come up as far as real estate, then I'll pitch it in there. But if not, I'll save it for another day.
I'm going to tell you that usually I go through, and Oscar, you killed it, man. Killed it. All right. Usually I go through 3 of Oscar's before I get 1 of Jeff. Think about that, guys. Great job. But we're not selling anything. We're nurturing a relationship. Remember that, especially online leads. Online leads don't know you as far as I can throw you. And Legacy has opportunities for you to take online leads if you want them, but you have strict rules if you want them. Speed to lead, 10 days of pain, and you must abide by that or you get kicked out. And there's people, Wes Hensley's been killing it on online leads. Billy's been killing it on online leads. They understand the importance of get the appointment set, appointment met, because they don't trust you. They don't know you. Why would they use you? They're getting 10 agents calling them today. Create the relationship. Thanks. So good. I mean, it saved a lot of time. I appreciate that. Good job. All right. So it's your process. It's you, it's yours. In 2026, you have to know yours. Get personal, talk about it. I'm going to give you 2 minutes max. Talk amongst your group. One of you guys want to jump over there with Blanca and chat with Blanca? Jump over there, Billy. Just kind of talk about your pitch. Talk about it with each other real quick. You got 2 minutes. Go. Keeps pausing a little bit. Is that all right? Just you know, if I have to, I kind of don't.
Hey, I don't know if it's just me, but I can't hear you.
All right. We're coming back. Bringing it back. Who wants to share a story? I've heard some awesome stories walking around right now of some of your things. Who wants to share one out loud? Sharing time. We get to share our tools. Billy. Hey guys, let's bring it back for now. Here we go. Go for it, Billy.
Blanca, the most common, doesn't matter if it's a lead or if it's a referral base, you always have to come back to the commonality of why. What's the reason why? So I called this lead last night, and the first thing she's talking about is the Dodgers. I kind of give her a little bit of I kind of give her a little banter. So, oh man, that's kind of bad. I'm a Yankees fan, whatever. And she starts picking on me, and we start going back and forth. And I didn't even introduce myself yet. She just went straight into, I'm watching the game. I'm sorry. And told her I can call her back. But that's how I established a relationship with her. And then it just clicked. And then we started talking about the why. And she's telling me she's coming from Central Coast to this area. And I start kind of talking about, you know, how great it is here and, you know, compared to the coast. And And essentially, eventually what it ended up turning into was us just having a good conversation about why she's doing it. And if you can find that, if you can find that relation to why she's doing it, and you can put yourself into that conversation, it's so easy. It's so easy to just have a conversation, click, and then they trust you. That's where you build a trust. So after that trust is, okay, now you trust me. This is what I'm going to do for you. This is how we're going to do it, and we're going to work together. So yeah, and we ended up talking about 35 minutes. Actually, today we text in the morning. And looking at properties already. So, great.
Round of applause for that. Very good. I heard some conversations about open houses over here. There's so many different ways that you get opportunities to get into that. And Dolly was talking to someone over there at an open house. Next thing you know, she just starts talking about relationships, and then it turned into, you know what, we're just going to use you. First-time home buyers, right? We're just going to use you. I mean, literally, that's what it's all about. It's just got to get that relationship going. Face to face. Yeah. I mean, there's no, but that's why it's like the door knocking, all that. If you choose door knocking, choose your script. And scripts are just, they're not meant for you to think, scripts. No, they're meant for you to think, okay, I need to read this so I'm ready and prepared for what objections are going to send my way. You put every script in your own word. They're your words. They're what you're delivering. It's yours. Control it. Take control of it. It's yours. Life balance is huge. Jenny talked a little bit about that earlier and the importance of it. If you're not balancing what you're doing in this industry, in any business, doesn't matter whether it's real estate, doesn't matter if it's lending, doesn't matter if it's escrow, doesn't matter if it's construction. I've coached contractors, you name it. It's all about the life balance. And if you're not balancing it, you're going to hate your job. You should love your job. You have a great opportunity. If you're doing it every day, 5 days minimum a week, it should be 6. I talked to someone the other day and said, hey, can you expand that calendar to 7? Because I work 7 days a week. I said, sure. So I changed it to 7. If you work this job every day, it's not a job. I used to be a farmer right out of high school. I loved it. I got a chance, any business I've ever done, I've tried to take it as high as I can. And right out of high school, I was working for a ranch. Ended up having the opportunity to become a supervisor. Next thing you know it, the old guy was ready to retire. So him and me and the son took over the ranch, named it Sierra View Orchards. It lasted 2 years because China came into production. We lost our export. It was a whole bad crash of what happened in real estate, but happened in tree fruit farming. It was bad. But the one thing I always tell them is real estate is a lot like farming. I love farming. I'd still be doing it today. I loved it. It was just a way of life. Doesn't matter what day of the week it is. If you love what you do, it's just a way of life. If you're doing it and mad that you don't have an escrow, it's not a way of life. You're trying to force something to happen instead of naturally enjoying your job, and things naturally start to come. But they're not going to naturally start to come if you're not doing the work, which is nurturing the people, the relationships, things like that. So spiritual, you got to have spiritual, morals, ethics, spiritual accountability. Spiritual accountability. Who's your spiritual accountability partner? Who's there to lift you up? Is it a spouse? Is it a sister, brother? Is it another colleague? Is it Jenny or I? Who is your spiritual accountability partner? Your purpose, stewardship, local church, health, physical fitness, nutrition. I'm telling you guys, you've got to live a healthy life. We want you to live for many years. We want you to live for many years and continue to be our partners and continue to work together and help each other do more and meet more people. Be healthy, live a healthy life, work, career. That's important. If it's all right here, we got a problem. We got a problem. This wheel is not going to turn. It's going to go bam, clunk, clunk. I mean, it's going to have a problem, guys. This wheel can only turn if you've got social in your life, friends, community. What about development? Development is developing more of you. That's lifelong education, reading books, motivations, values, morals, self-esteem, recovery is part of that. If you're dealing with something in life and you need to get recovery, get help. We've got resources to help you with that. You've got to reach out to us and we're here to help you. We'll go alongside with you. Very important. Everyone will do that. Family, recreation, arts, music, parents, children, extending your family, intimacy, parenting. How about life planning, financial planning, time management, goal setting? So important. If you're not living the life in the life balance wheel and you don't have a little bit of this every day, you're going to have problems. You're going to hate this job. You're going to hate what you do, and you're going to go to work for someone else when you could have been working for yourself. Do you have an animal? Oh, I love this. If you have an animal and you forget to feed them one day, what's going to happen? They're going to die. They're going to get a little skinny. If you forgot to feed them multiple days, yeah, they would die. Yeah. And they would probably start eating things they're not supposed to eat. What happens if you don't feed your business for multiple days? It's the same thing. Same exact thing. Start your plan. Okay, so we're going to jump into a little bit of, you got some forms on your desk here. All of you have those. If you don't have any, there's more over here. Grab some from another table. There's plenty here. Those of you online that are online, the 35, 40 of you, 23, email me, Shawn at CardozaREgroup.com, and I'll reply back to that email with all the forms that are on everyone's tables right here. A smart action plan's got to be specific. You've got to be specific to what you're going to attack. And I'm going to tell you this, you need to have 2 plans, 2 goals. And they say that you should not, you have one big wildly important goal, but really you have a wildly important goal and then you have short-term goals. Elvie used to teach our school for many years. She taught for Century 21 school, and she always called it, she always brought in the agents ahead of time and got them going on their 12-week year. 12-week year, well, it's a year-long plan, but you can break it down. There's a great book called The 12-Week Year, and what it does, it takes that wildly important goal and it breaks it down to 12 weeks. Not a quarter, by the way, but you can do it via quarter, but the book actually teaches that it's better to do it in 12 weeks versus the quarter, because it breaks it down to a specific 12 weeks, and then you take a break. You worked 12 weeks and you took a break. 12 weeks, then you took a break. So 2 goals. One is your wildly important goal, and break it down into 12 weeks with daily action steps to be able to help you reach that goal. But it's got to be a specific goal. It's got to be measurable. You got to be able to measure it. If you can't measure the goal, your success, how do you know if you're winning the game? You got to know if you're winning the game. Is it achievable? Can you do this? Okay, I'm going to sell 100 homes this year, but I just got my license yesterday. All right, can you? Yes, you can with the right action steps. But my suggestion is make it reachable first and then expand that goal. If you hit it, that is going to be the most rewarding feeling you're going to have when you hit the goal early. Legacy is getting ready to hit their goal early. Round of applause for that. We're about ready to hit our goal. But guess what? We're going to expand it because we got a couple more months left. That doesn't mean that we're not going to still do something fun and go on a bus ride somewhere. It doesn't mean that. Paid for by House Junkies. Just kidding. She didn't hear me. Paid for by House Junkies. Paid for by House Junkies. It's good. Abel said Cancun, so yeah. I don't think that's happening. I mean, sure, if you want to pay for your ticket, we'll all plan. We'll block out a hotel, but you guys got to pay your rooms anyway. You can sleep on the beach. Yeah, homeless. Is your goal relevant? Is it relevant to what you want? Does it mean something? If it doesn't mean something, you're not going to believe in it. And is it time bound? It's got to have an end date, just like your contracts with the Department of Real Estate. It's got to have a beginning date and an end date, or it's not a contract, right? So do your goals. They got to have a beginning date and an end date, or it's not relevant. Here's your smart action plan, all right? What, where, which, who, why, how, all that. Measure it, achieve it. Again, if you want a copy of this one's not on the table, email me and I'll send that over to you. Now, this is your comfort zone. Most real estate agents with no experience at all live in this bubble right here. It's your safe zone. A lot of realtors in their first year in the business never get out of that bubble. Guys, you got to get uncomfortable. You got to do something. You got to fail forward. That's it. You fail forward. Get out of that comfort zone into the fear zone where you have lack of self-confidence, but you're learning. You're finding excuses, but you're learning. You're being affected by others' opinions. Don't be affected by others' opinions. There's going to be people calling you saying, hey, come over here. We'll help you. They're failing you over there. No, remember, it's you. People are going to try to talk you out of knowing what you need to know, and you know it. You know what you need to do. That is being affected by others' opinions. You get through that into those learning zone. I'll tell you, being in the business for 16 to 20 years, almost 20 years, if you consider all my investing early on, it's 20 years. I still live here. I want to live here. I don't want to get out of this zone. I want to hop back and forth here. I want to grow, but I want to learn, find purpose, deal with challenges and problems, live dreams. You know, if you're just living here, you're that know-it-all agent that calls you all the time, or that calls you and treats you bad, right? You know them, right? The one that treats you bad when you call and you never want to work with them again. They need to retire, all right? They need to get back over here and be humble and realize that we live and bounce between those two. If you have not taken the DISC assessment and you want to take it, because I'm going to go over a little DISC right now, scan that code real quick. If you've already taken it, I have a copy of it. Ask me for it and I'll send it to you. Usually once you take it, I reply back and I send it to you right away. And then ask me questions on that. Most of you, when I send it to you, you don't ask questions like, what does this mean, Shawn? So ask questions. I can tell you what your personality means and how you're going to grow from it. In the last few pages of it, it actually tells you growth steps, your personal personality, yours. And it's not personality, it's behavioral. It's not actually a personality assessment. It's behavioral, how you behave in certain situations. The DISC is, you got your D, I, S, and C. The D is your driver. They're typically the person that likes to get on stage, and I'm not. You can hear in my voice, I'm holding my breath a little bit. I'm nervous. I don't like getting up on stage, but I love my product and I can teach it. That means I've mastered it, but I don't fully mastered. I'm still growing and learning all the time. I'm not a D, guys. I'm an SI. An S is a good place for a realtor, and I is a good place for a realtor, because your I call that your party guy, party girl. They like to be around groups. They like to be around people. They like to get out and hobnob, and they definitely need that in their life. Your C is typically the person that likes to, I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to go anywhere. Shut everyone out. Leave me alone. You need a little bit of that C in there, though, because they're also your accountant. They're the reason why you write good contracts. Your clients need a little C in your personality because they need to make sure you're going to keep them out of civil liability as much as possible. So a C is your accountant. S is your stable. And it says right here that if you're an S, you should be doing a ton of open houses, a ton of farming, and continuously hitting up your SOI. That's an S. Your I is your network groups. You're around network groups. Billy and I went and played basketball with Brad Berg last night, and we met a ton of people in there. It was fun. That's like a network group. It doesn't have to be so stand up, stick in the mud. It could be something as fun as going and playing at church. It was church basketball at First Baptist on Tuesdays. If you guys, you want to go play basketball on Tuesdays, 6 to 8, they play over there. It's fun. A lot of good people in there. And by the way, they probably all know somebody who wants to buy a house. Go meet them. Network groups, open houses as well, SOI, social media marketing, all right? That's your I personality. Online lead generation, farming, direct mail marketing, all that. Good stuff. So what's the benefit to having a plan, all right? If you're not having some sort of plan, you're running your business blind. And I'm going to move a little quicker here. A football game is measured by a final score and not the blocking, passing, and tackling. That's the activities that gets them through there. The coach puts the plan together, but they don't just look at the scoreboard and say, yeah, the score's up there and I'm just winning because I'm winning. No, it took all the activities, the blocker, blocking the nose tackle, blocking the perfect person to block, to hit that one, to drive the pull, to be able to get the running back around him to score the touchdown. There was a specific strategic plan to win that game. How much money you want to make next year? Let's get down to some real numbers here. Now, this is gross and net. If you want to make 100,000, you should be doing at least 5 additional SOI added to your database each week. If you want to make 200,000, you should be adding at least 10 each week. 300,000, 15 SOI added to your database each week. 102 contacts, nope, raise that, guys. 150 contacts, calls need to be made per week. Is that a lot? Guess what? You get the opportunity to reach out to 150 people. Change your mindset. You get an opportunity. 6 real estate related social media messages, 1 open house, actually 4 per month. And this says 0.75 open houses, 3 because it averages out to how many you need to plan out your plan. Remember, we lead by a plan, put a plan in place and run after it. 75 door knocks and on and on. You guys want to take pictures of that? Grab it. I'm going to change it real quick. Sure. Send me an email and I'll reply back. Actually, I can send the whole thing out to whole brokerage. So $100,000 a year, know your numbers. Okay, $100,000 a year I want to make, divide that by 12 months. That's $8,300 gross per month you need to be shooting to make. So you're either going to make a GCI, gross commission income, or you're going to make 12 closings. It's not that difficult. They both equal the same thing. How about the average sales price breakdown? $400,000 times 0.025, that's 25%. Hopefully you're getting 3, but that's $10,000. Okay, $100,000 yearly income, that's 10,000, that's 10. Okay, that's only 10 closings at $400,000 median sales price. Business plan, okay? Activity number 1 is blocking to protect the quarterback. Activity number 2 is the receiver working to get open and quarterback passing the ball accurately. Activity 3 is more blocking, receiving, and running so they can score the touchdown. Lots of activities. What are some activities you can think about that you could be doing right now in your business every day of the week? Popeyes, events, handwritten notes, texting, email marketing, phone calls, instant messenger to people. All right, how about SOI? Shoot, we forgot about that. How about open houses? Shoot, forgot about that. Shoot, I haven't even gotten to that. And I talked about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them before I even got to the bread and butter, SOI and open houses. How about for sale by owners? How about expireds? Door knocking, farming neighborhoods, circle prospecting, which is totally different. Farming is different than circle prospecting. Farming is where you have a farm and you're literally, you know where every home, who lives in what house, because you're getting to know every family member. Maybe you're doing neighborhood watch parties and you're putting it on. You're the go-to realtor in that neighborhood. That's farming. Literally, farming is that you're nurturing it and watering it every single week, every month, and then it produces crop at the end of the year. Circle prospecting is when you have an open house and you're prospecting around your open house. They're two totally different things. What else popped up right now? Social media marketing. How about video marketing? That's huge right now. Lots of video marketing. I sent a happy birthday out a little while ago to my son to wish him happy birthday. I usually do that with my clients and I get them to go, wow, Shawn, a video happy birthday text? Thanks. Those things mean a lot, guys. Definitely. Business to business relationship. B2B is one of my biggest sources of income. I've got one under contract and another one that I got from another business person because I love business networking groups. I love them. Direct mail marketing. There's a lot of different software you can use to send those out. Distressed properties, flip properties. Annual property analysis. That's where you call every single one of your sellers and say, hey, it's that time of the year. It's time to find out how much money you've made on your house so far. Would you like to know? And they're like, money? Yeah, you realize every year you make money on your house every single year, unless we have a bad year, which the last 2 years we've had a freeze of a year. Didn't really lose money. I mean, some people might have lost a little bit, but then what happens? Typical average 4 to 10% increase in the market year over year is the average normal. And that's what you should be telling people. So keep it long term and you're going to be making money every year. Luxury properties. Do you focus on luxury properties? Foreclosures. Agriculture. Ag agents make a ton of money and they don't even have access to the MLS. They don't use the MLS. Half the ag properties you see aren't on the market. Now, you see on the market, that's only probably a quarter of them. There's a lot of different activities. Here's a few more for you. Relationships, social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, video marketing, direct messaging, posting. Guys, if you're saying that you don't know what to do, we got a problem. It's time to get that figured out. On your table, you got some questions. I want you to take 1 minute max and look over those questions, try to answer them. Go. So one with several questions on it. Here you go. Looks like this. All right, you can continue answering those. Accountability for you. Are your numbers trackable? How many hours are you working per week? How many numbers of homes have you previewed this week? Previewing properties is important because one is you preview the property that's on the market, and then you go across the street and door knock 5 properties around it and say, hey, we're trying to sell your neighbor's property across the street. We have a co-op with the MLS that allows us to say those words. You are not the listing agent, but we are trying to sell your neighbor's property across the street. Want to see if you know of anyone wanting to buy, sell, or invest or move into the neighborhood. Most people know somebody that wants to move into the neighborhood. Here's some scoreboards for you. You tracking your numbers on how many contacts you're making and what you're doing. And here's one for free. If you want a scoreboard that works really well, that's simple, that's easy to track, you can scan that QR code and get your own scoreboard. Keep your score every day, know your numbers. If you don't have that scanned yet, let me know and I'll stop. 1, 2.5, 3. Oh wait, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5, 1, 1.5. You can save that to your Google Drive and you can use it and pull it up. All right, you have in front of you 135 forms. I'll go back to it in a minute. 135 forms you have in front of you. Pull those out real quick. It looks different colors probably. One, I want you to work on this right now. By the end of this, by the end of Matt's session that's going to start here shortly, I want you guys to have a wildly important goal. We used to go into the team meeting. Those of you that were on the Kevin Blaine team remember this, and we'd be wearing wigs. We called it Wig Day. Wildly important goal day. Wigs. I wore a Joe Dirt wig. It was really fun. Someone had pink hair. Can't remember. It was really fun. So your wildly important goal, how many units you want to close, or if you're on a team, how many millions of dollars do you want to make this year? Or solo can do that too. How many millions of dollars you want to make? And then you're going to break it down to basic 3 priorities of how to achieve that goal. Those are your blanket items, I like to call it. And then you have your strategies. I like to say these need to be more specific. I want you to start that right now. Put your big, wildly important goal at the top. Start thinking of 3 basic things that you can do to reach that goal. Is it establish an online presence? Is it lead generate for new business? Oops. Hit that back arrow real quick. I tapped it. Is it organize your COI, also known as SOI, in your CRM database? We've been getting you guys in touch with Natalie Morgan, and she'll actually help you and teach you this stuff for a cost per month. And for another cost per month, she'll do it all for you. Help you completely organize it. And she says that I'm going to pay for myself. Just give me a couple months, I'll pay for myself. You watch. And then these need to be specific, a little more specific on how you're going to do that. Okay, a little more specific on how you're going to do it. I'm not expecting, if you guys go in here and you fill this out real quick, I'm going to tell you, you don't believe in what you're doing. You don't believe in it. You should be able to fill in a few, and then over the next upcoming months, continuously add to it on things that you believe you really need to do. Okay, things you believe you really need to do to be able to hit that goal. So don't get in a hurry down here. Get in a hurry here. Okay, get in a hurry there. Keep hitting that button. You know, maybe put some blanket items down here that you can work on. But here are the daily activities, kind of daily or weekly activities you could be doing. Be a little more specific on that. Believe in what you're choosing to put down, because if you don't believe it, you won't do it. I want you to do it. Do the things down below. All right. So this is a video from Tristan Alhamada. I'm going to play it really quick.
So when you get to our calendar, we're just looking at, oh, I've got this appointment, this appointment, this appointment. How do I need to show up? Am I going to be able to show up at the level that I need to show up as? And if not, maybe you need to change that. Or maybe you need to kick your ass into gear and be like, I am going to show up like this because I want this and I want this. And my clients or the person I'm meeting deserve close to 100% of me, not 50, not 60, not 70% of me.
Tristan Alhamada is amazing. All right. Context plus conversations times consistency equals conversion. Context, got to have context. Without context, you have nothing. Plus conversations, lots of conversations must happen. Times that means multiply that times consistently every day. Staying consistent using the calendar Jenny showed you will help you convert. And you can do this in 1 month. You can do this in 1 week. That's how fast it can happen. But if the consistency is not there, it won't happen. Okay. Here's a couple of resources for you. If you're looking for mailers, we also have Red X, guys. We don't have the access. I do have access. I can pull some for you. Won't cost you anything at all. Just tell me the neighborhoods you want. Email me and I'll do it for you. But if you want to pay for it yourself and use it consistently, $59 will get you expireds. Geo leads for $59. For sale by owners for $39.99. $59.99 for rent by owners. $39.99 pre-foreclosures. And that's it. And you can cancel it anytime. Pay for it for a month, cancel it. Get those things, then cancel it. But there's lots of resources for you to be able to use that. Cole Realty is a great one as well. USPS Mail has where you can do direct mail marketing. And I know a guy in the community that sent out 3,000 mailers and got 5 listings off of it. Those 3,000 mailers cost him $5,000. But he got how many listings? 3 listings. He got 3 listings. He made $20,000. It's a great ROI. All right, guys, that's all I got. Matt Morgan, come on up. You guys need to go to the bathroom, but you're not going to want to miss Matt. You're not going to want to miss this. Hang out. You're going to learn how to get your mindset right, get healthy, make the things happen you need to happen.
It's mine, or did you just kick them out? Do you all need to use the restroom or anything like that? Yeah, you might want to, because I have a different computer here to set things up, and just take a breath. That's a lot of information at the end there, right? Wow. You all are amazing for what you balance and what you do on a daily basis. I hope you know it. Absolutely amazing. Me being a mindset guy, I sit back there and I listen to that and I go, wow, look at all those things that a real estate agent has to do in order to work.
I'll be running this up from my and here, and then I'll do the big one. Did you do that one? Perfect. Yeah. So that one's actually giving them the ability to click though. Yeah. I think I might do it. Click it on me. That way you don't have to do anything. You can just listen. Yeah, I mean, you still want to use this as your kind of guide, or it is. It kind of gives me what I'm reading into and why I'm saying that I'm telling. Gotcha. Now you can see these. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, exactly right there is what it is that I'm looking at. Some of those things, one thing leads into another, and it makes me understand why it makes me understand. So do you want me to click on you? That way you don't have to do that? You don't have to do that.
It just moved up. No, they talk about how. So when you come and click, I'll click for you, your focus is clearly, your focus is going to see keyboard as you start.
All right. That's what I just heard is that's what happens when you give a real estate agent 5 minutes. So we're going to come back down here. I know Jeff went to the restroom and he told me, "You're why I came here, Matt." No pressure. It really is interesting to sit here and watch. We all know that I'm not a real estate agent, obviously. I'm the mindset guy. But I go from field to field to field. I work with business owners. I've worked with loan officers. Just did a restaurant with a guy who happens to be my brother too in about 9 months. And I'm none of those things. I'm the guy that looks at you and what you're doing and well, basically what we talk about is mindset. And one of the things I want to share with you is I listened to all of that stuff. Is that can even get overwhelming for me as I look and I put myself in your shoes and I feel what it is that you have to do. Is I bring it down into something really, really simple. And I just love that you all are talking about why. Why do you do what you do, right? Your big why, your big goal. That's what drives everything. And I take that thing and I stick it on a card right here. This is what my mentor taught me. And it took me a long time to get an idea why this really works. You ever waste time? Maybe you wanted to post something on social media and you found yourself watching reels, right? Yeah, social media. The whole world is designed to take us off of our path. And this is our path. So I will sit down and I will read this card. And this is my why. This is why I do what I do. This is my whole life. And the reason you want to do that is because everything is energy. And you're going to hear me talk about that a little bit more. But you're putting energy into this thing. This reminds you of what you're doing because out there in the world, there's all kinds of stuff going on saying, hey, don't pay attention to that. And when you put energy into this thing, life becomes yes or no, black or white. It's very simple for you. This is a reminder for you. I don't even have to pull it out. If I'm in a situation that I don't like the way things are going, I reach in my pocket and I touch that card because I put time into that thing. Is this for me? Is this not for me? No, don't invest any emotion in that. Don't get involved in that. My emotion is in my goal, and everything is built into that. Your big why is built into that. Why do you really want to do that stuff? Now I'm getting phone calls. Distraction, just what we were talking about, right? So powerful. And I come here and I listen to what's being shared today, and that guiding light is, I think you're going to see what's going on, because there wasn't any communication. There was a small communication between my brother and I about when I would go. And he's so fun. If you notice what Shawn does, he takes action very quickly, and that is the mark of a winner. There's no hesitation with him. He moves very quickly. And if you want to win, which you all do, and you have done it, hitch your wagon to his. But hold on, because you don't know what he's going to do, because he moves very quickly. And our conversation was, Matt, you're going to go first. And then he just said, no, you're going to go last today. And you buckle up and you go along for the ride. That's it. That's the whole winning part of it, of what you're doing is it's a yes or a no, and it's a yes or a no. And it's all based on, are you able to keep yourself moving toward your goal? So mindset is everything. And I loved, you're going to see how it comes together, that yes or no comes together that we did not communicate in terms of these presentations too. But what was so beautiful is Jenny got up here and said, mindset. And the way that she spoke and what she did. And she talked about a little something called fear and faith. Did you and I have a conversation about what my slides were going to be and what your slides were going to be? No, we didn't. Shawn, what he talked about. And it all comes together so beautifully when I wrap it back up in what we're talking about. When you buy into that dream and that goal of what it is that you're doing, and you feel it now, that gives you the yes or the no. That is your guidance. When we say, I wish that God would bless me, that's in the future. That's a way. That means I'm not blessed right now. God does not have a problem. We're the one with the problem. God is blessing you right now to be in this moment. And we forget this world takes us off of that path. And that goal, as I call it, a goal card, brings you down into the now. I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be in this moment. And what is my guidance? What's my guidance system? It's God, right? So I got to tell a joke too, because my brother told the joke and it was good. Same thing. And you've heard this one before too, so I'm going to walk along the same lines. The lady is in the flood and she goes to the roof of her house, right? And a boat comes by and says, you better hop in the boat because the flood's just going to get worse. And she says, my God will save me. Water gets higher, another boat comes. You better get in the boat, the water's going to get higher. She says, my God will save me. Finally, she's at the very tip top and there's almost no roof left, and a helicopter comes and she says, no, thank you. My God will save me. And then the flood comes, she dies. She goes up, talks to God and says, hey, why didn't you save me? And he said, I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter. We get really locked in on an idea of how success is going to happen for us. But you must remain open and you must feel is that is you now. I am blessed now. Jenny said, what? I'm going to get 3 deals today, right? What that means is I'm going to be happy when I get those 3 deals. I'm going to be okay. I am 3 deals now. Now. That's the only thing that we have. The past is an illusion. The future, we're not sure about. Everything has always happened now. If you say, I'll be happy when I get that, well, guess what? You're not right now. You're not happy, right? Does that make sense? And I love that we're talking about mindset because you can see that I'm so passionate about this stuff and it's finally catching hold. I've been doing this for 8 years. And I was talking about stuff to people that was like, what? What is he talking about? This manifestation, this energy, all this type of stuff. And I love the fact that we're starting to talk openly about it and we're saying things like Jenny said, it's everything. Shawn had the slides up there. It's everything. Mindset is everything that you do. So with that being said, I'm going to lead into what I'm going to share with you today. You had a lot of information shared with you, and you've probably felt before in your life that you've had good information shared with you, and you started to do something good, and then you looked back in your life and you said, well, if I would have kept doing that by now, maybe it was 6 months or a year later, I would have got these results, but you stopped, right? Have you ever felt that before? Wish I would have kept working out. Wish I'd have kept calling those leads. Wish I'd have kept doing this, that, and the other thing. And if I would have got to this moment now, I would have all these great things. And this is built in the ability to endure. It's not whether or not you can succeed. It's whether or not you can keep moving forward. That's it. How do we do that? And that's what I'm going to share with you all from a mindset point of view. I want to share, though, I'm open to. And my wife said, you know, Matt, you talk about mindset in a way, how did she put it? She said, you know, you kind of put it in a way that people feel like they should know. And it does have that connotation to it. Like I should know what mindset is, right? And she said, well, she's a first grade teacher, by the way, too. That's how she deals with me. But she said a lot of times people don't want to ask a question because they feel like maybe everybody else would know. And mindset has that big thing around it. Like, hey, we should know what that thing is, right? So I don't want to ask a silly question. So what she said was, she said, put sticky notes right here. And this is for each and every one of you. And if you have a question, I don't care what it is. There are no dumb questions, but all the same, we have that inside of us. Write it down. And there's a basket that I have right here. This is what she told me to do too. So I was listening. Put your questions inside the basket. I'll come back for that in a minute. You're going to see that slide pop up right there. You can move that forward. But what you're going to find in that basket is a bunch of these bracelets that I have. And that's to remind you to stay conscious about what I'm about to share with you today, about how to reach your goal and how to do the things that you want to do. And the reason that we wear those, everybody has those sticky notes there, is because the same thing. Am I being the person that I want to be, or am I being my old self? And I'm going to show you guys how to tell the difference in between those two things. And as you're walking through your day, if you want to take one of those and you want to put it on, every time you look down, you're going to ask yourself that question. And that's a faster way to your goal than just hoping and wishing things. We have to do something, as Shawn said. So the ability to endure. And as a reminder to myself, because I didn't want to forget what my wife told me to do, the next slide is, my computer didn't pull up there. Well, it's the basket slide. You can click it. That was my reminder so that I didn't forget what my wife told me to do. Click it to the next one. Meanwhile, while we're looking here. And I want to ask you all this question. Does the ability to endure, does that mean to you all that it's forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do? Kind of no, right? Who thinks that that's what it is? I'm just curious. And again, no wrong answers. Nobody. Very interesting. So, yeah, oh, hey, okay. It kind of is. But here's the thing. Like, forcing ourselves to do something, you're on limited time. What we have to understand is the use of something that we call our will or willpower. But when we're forcing ourselves to do something, some people have 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. Some people can stick it out. I'm going to show you that I actually stuck it out for 3 years in the beginning of my journey. And I'm going to give you the power. And a lot of that power has been given to you here with what was spoken. But yes, it's not that. You're on a limited time at that point of view. So what we want to understand is our will. And our will was never intended to force us for long periods of time to do something. Your will, and this is a mindset thing. This is something you might want to write down. Your will is the ability to focus on one thing. That's it. Funny, right? It's not about forcing ourselves to do something. It's about being able to focus on one thing at a time, which can be a really challenging thing in this world, right? We said we're bombarded by so much stuff. Your will gives you the ability to take the energy that's being sent to you You're always receiving this flow of energy and you're able to grab it and form it into thoughts. And it's like a magnifying lens for what you're thinking. Like it takes the sun and pulls it down into that point where it's that white hot light, right? And what you focus on really matters, because that is how we start to work with energy. And everything is energy, as you're all starting to figure out, right? Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Does anybody not agree with that? Molecules, atoms, your hands, and everything like that. So we go, what is it that I'm really doing? And Shawn had you do an exercise. I'm going to have you do an exercise too right now. I want you to reach up. I want you to touch the top of your head, right? Now answer me this. Did you do that? You did. Good question, right? If you think that you did that, now you don't have to be a kinesiologist. That's where I started, by the way. So you don't have to say the muscles, but if you think that you did that, why don't you just point to me the muscles that you used a little bit and the muscles that you used a lot? Do you know the chemical reactions involved in a muscular contraction? Do you know the electricity? There's things called action potential. There's so many amazing things that happen there. What did you actually do? You had thoughts and feelings. And that's the power of the will. Your thoughts and feelings don't mean nothing. They mean everything. You're most directly connected to this energy. I don't remember being put into this body. Like that was a moment that happened. But that's what happens when we come into this world. We're most directly connected to this energy. But this energy goes far beyond that. You ever walk into a room and feel like, boy, something's wrong here and nothing's been said? That's energy. Everything is energy. We're not doing what we think we're doing. As we get to be adults, we think, well, I'm doing all this stuff. You're not. You're actually connected to energy, and you're doing the one thing that you have the freedom to do. Why you are God's highest form of creation. You can think and feel anything you want, anytime you want. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. Does that make sense? It hits hard, doesn't it? That's the reality of it. And by the way, this is a lease. As we said, we don't want to waste our time. We don't know when we're going to have to give this energy back. Everything is changing that way. I said last time, this was not my quote. Don't quote me on that. Einstein said that. Everything is energy. And that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you can't help but get that reality. The one thing you need to know about energy is that it's always moving, and we don't need to know it at the Einstein level. And I'm going to tell you that if you think I do, think again, I don't. I only concern myself with the things that people need to move themselves past their stick points, to get them toward the things that they want in life. So I really take the energy stuff in that way too. All energy vibrates, and it's the frequency with which the energy vibrates that's how we experience it. My hand, the computer, the pen, whatever it is, but it's all just energy. And he's telling us, match the frequency of the vibration that you want to experience, and you can't help but experience that. That's pretty cool, right? Like I said, a few years ago, that was a little bit far out. And now you all are starting to step into that space where you see that. So the question is, how could we actually look at it and say, I can understand it with my mind? It's very difficult because we have to draw it out kind of in the 3D, as Jeff put it. But this is energy as it would be represented. It's infinite. So these lines are actually representing like different frequencies. And there's infinite amount of frequencies. But the reason we can't draw it out on paper is because every frequency is connected to the other frequency. You are not miles away from your goal. Your goal is one step away in the form of energy, right? And here's what I mean by that. So these little doodads I put right here, this is how the energy is connected. But what I want you to understand is where you want to go is one step away too. We think linear when we think humans. We think, okay, I'm going to put it in the form of weight loss. You say, well, I want to lose 25 pounds, or I want to lose 50 pounds, or whatever the case is. So I'm going to do it 1, 2, 3, 4 pounds at a time. But you don't want to do it that way. What you want to do is you want to go, I am 50 pounds down. What is that frequency and that vibration? And that's what connects it. That's what you're going to find. What I'm going to share with you is you're going to be dealing with a yes or a no, just like I told you right in the beginning. And that's how we connect these two energies right here. And so that you can understand that. Because what happens with this is that we get weighed down by the fact that our goal feels so far out there, and that depresses our ability to endure. You have to realize that your goal is right there, and you're going to live from that state all the time. That's what you're saying. As much as you're conscious, you're choosing to live from that state. The first order of business with all of this stuff is that's so cool how we were connected today, is you must choose something that you love. Your first order of business for enduring is to set a goal that you love. Where do you really want to go? And I saw you all take that time to write some of that stuff out today. But what I like to share with people at this point is you don't want to set a goal that's manipulated by the world. You don't, it's a lot like, I can't help but compare it to when you're dating somebody that somebody told you you should date and you really didn't want to date them. And if you allow the world to set, right? If you allow the world to set your goal that way, first bump in the road, what happens? I'm out, right? Like you've got to set the thing that you're in love with, just like the person that you're in love with. So you're going to run through this and you're going to go through that and you're going to take all these twists and these turns, but you're going to keep pursuing that thing, one, because you absolutely loved it. And that's about you being able to set that goal for you. The second part of that is how is this goal going to change your life and the lives of those you love? We really want to dig into that as we reach out further. And I know that that's all part of your why. And that's why I love how we were talking about this today, that mindset is already built into the talk that I'm giving, but the talks that we're given. And the real powerhouse behind this is when I first set my goal in fitness, it was all about me. And that was enough to motivate me as a young person. I had a lot of ego going on there. As we get older, we really get motivated by helping others. And that's when you look at what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Yes, you want to have money, you want to have success, you want to have this thing for your family. But what is it that a real estate agent really does? They help. They connect people with their home. Forever home, next home, rental. They're helping other people build their dream through the process of property or whatever it is that you want to call it. We're helping other humans, and we got to get clear on that. The unique thing about each and every one of you is that we had all these different methods for reach out, right? But the unique thing that you're going to do to succeed is the unique thing that is you. Don't lose yourself along the way. How do you connect with people? That's the one that's going to guide you. How do you connect with your friends and closest to you? Don't lose that along the way. And you're going to go out in the world and you're going to share that version of you, that authentic version of you that connects real estate with them. You're helping people get their goal, right? How do we do that? How does this help the world? You want to get clear on what that is. And here's the real powerhouse. We got two things, right? What happens for you if you never do this? This is the motivator that kicks your butt. And I tell people you want to use this sparingly on those days that you can't get your butt to go out there and move. You want to be motivated by love. But this one gets really real, that if I don't do this today, if I don't stand up and take consistent action today, I repeat a pattern of that. I lose this doesn't work. What happens? What does my life look like? You want to know what that is. Don't let that thing just hang out there and act like, oh, it's not going to happen. It's exactly what's going to happen if you abandon it. So this is the pain kick in the butt. If you use those things that I just shared with you right now, this is really, really interesting. This is my journey. That's basically what I used to get myself going, but I had no idea what mindset was back in the day. So I was able to keep myself going, but I was fighting a losing battle because I wasn't getting any success. This is powerful motivation for you to get your butt moving and do the things that you need to do. But part of success is this. We want to start seeing success, right? You're not going to do this crazy stuff all day long for years on end without getting any success. And I want to share this quote with you because this is the best quote that I've ever heard about success. Any of you ever heard this before? Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Have you heard that? It's kind of a mouthful, right? But you let it roll around for a while and you find out that that's true. Success is not about getting the thing. The thing has a shelf life, whether it be 3 hours, 3 months, 3 years. You're going to get tired of that. Success is the fact that you're moving towards something that you said that you want to move toward. That's what it is. And every day you get up and you feel like you're moving toward that thing, then you feel like you're successful. That's the power of it. That's Earl Nightingale that said that. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So you got to feel like you're moving toward it, right? So how do we do that part? How do we produce results? Change. You're going to find that mindset's a little bit crazy and you're going to have to play along with me here, but I want to ask you a question. And as I ask you questions, I want you to go through this process in your mind. I want you to think about the exterior color of your house. And I want you to think of that house now being painted bright yellow. Does it work? Some yes, some no. Mainly no. Yes. Anybody? Okay. How about the interior of your car? What color is it? Do you know? Can each one of you answer the interior color of your car? Yeah, right. So what if we turned it hot pink? Does it work? Right? Are you all in your car or are you at your house right now? No. You just access something in your mind, right? So how do we make that change? We know that that's going to work or not going to work based on something that we're going to access in our mind. But let me ask you this question. What does your mind look like? Do you see how you use your change mechanism? The mind is the one thing we have to change in order to get the success that we want. We don't even know what it looks like. That's how we look at things. This is what change would look like. We have no cells of recognition for our mind. And if you think that your mind is your brain, it's not that you're wrong. It's just that your mind goes a lot further out there. Your brain is an electronic switching station. It's a computer like something we've never seen before. But the question is who's throwing the switches? That's you. Mind is an activity and it's never going to be seen. We've dissected every part of us and we've put it out there and we're like, where are we? But we need pictures because we think in pictures in order to make a change. And I'm going to share with you today, this is the tools that we were talking about, a picture of your mind so that you can begin to change your mind better and faster. And I'm not joking. This was created by a doctor in San Antonio, Texas, I want to say in the 50s, because he realized everything that he was doing was just treating symptoms. And it just kept showing up and showing up. And he realized the origin of everything was coming in mind. It was showing up in mind. And it needed to be treated at mind. But the biggest challenge he had was how to get people to change their mind. And that's the big challenge that we have with mindset, right? This image will help you out. And it is kind of funny. It seems kind of funny at first, but you're going to find that it's one of the most powerful things that you're going to be able to use in your mindset progress here. This is what the stick person is. The stick person represents your mind, and your mind is your conscious mind first, your subconscious, and then your body. Yes, take a picture of it. Put it up on your wall. Learn this stuff inside and out. This is how we make the change. Your conscious mind can accept or reject. It can build images. That's where our see, hear, smell, taste, touch is. You have memory, reason, intuition, imagination, perception, will is in the conscious mind. But the conscious mind can only do one thing at a time. Y'all think you can multitask? We actually can't multitask when it's conscious. This is what I mean. When it's conscious, we can multi-change channels fast, but we can't multitask. Multitasking comes from this place, the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind only accepts, and it accepts based on feeling, emotion. It's responsible for doing, move, and our habits. Our habits live there. Our habits are just feelings, right? I watched a lady on the way over here who was kind of cutting me off on traffic, and she was putting her makeup on, right? Come on, my wife has done it. Y'all have done it, right? If you have to. But the question is who's driving the car? Or maybe who's putting the makeup on, but she is doing multiple things. That's the stuff that comes down into the subconscious, right? Yeah, you've all done it. So this is the thing, is that the subconscious can only accept it, accepts it the moment that you feel it. This is why the conscious mind is so powerful, is that it's our gatekeeper. We talked about the goal, right? The goal is yes or no, yes or no. If it's a no, I'm not going to consciously allow it to go any further, because the moment that I feel it, my subconscious accepts it. And the body, if you notice, is a smaller part here. The body just does exactly what the mind tells it to do. It accepts its vibration based on that. It's just, we are just an instrument of mind. So how does this play out for enduring? What are the only two things that move us? You could say it if you want. You won't get it wrong. Motivation? Yes. We're really simple as humans. We're motivated by two things: pain and pleasure. That's it. And when you're in sales, it's a great thing to know. It's not something that you want to use to manipulate people, but when somebody has told you that this is something that they want, and now you see them standing in their own way, you have to ask your questions around pain and pleasure. I just did it to you all, and I don't feel bad about it. I asked you those questions about what it is that you really, really want. That's your pleasure. And your pain is, what if this never happens for you? You got to get real with that stuff. Those are the only things that move us. And this, oh, we didn't click forward. Pain and pleasure are the only two things that move us, but that becomes a fear versus faith thing. Fear and faith are just pain and pleasure played out further. It's in the future. Fear is based on something that I don't want, and faith is based on something that I do want. And that's how we got connected. When I was listening to you right away, I was like, oh my, this is perfect, because we never talked. And then everything that you were talking about was just right in a line. I love those moments, by the way. Fear and faith are the same thing, just in opposite directions. They both require that we believe in something that has not happened yet, right? So why do we choose fear, or why do we choose faith? That's something that we have to get real with. That's a habit in us, actually. And it was handed down to us from somebody else, somewhere else. That was so powerful when you said that too, when you said, well, I wasn't raised like that, right? So a fear-based raising causes a fear-based thinking. And then we do the thinking, we do the stuff that happens that causes that. It's just a habit. I want to break it down just a little bit further as we look at fear. And we talk about the things that get us to throw off path, get us to be thrown off path. Fear is received in the conscious mind when we say, this isn't going to go well. These are thoughts, right? That's where they're originating, in the conscious mind. It's not going to work. It's going to be really difficult. Once you buy into that and you feel it, it feels like fear, doubt, worry, anxiety. How does the body receive that? Something we call procrastination. You all know what that is, right? It's not your fault. You're not a bad person for it. You just don't understand how our mind is working. No action, poor action, not consistent. You do that long enough, you get something we call depression. And you stay in a depressed state long enough, and we actually break our body down as we become dis-ease. If you've ever heard that word, it needs to be hyphenated. It's a body that's not at ease. And you stay there long enough, you wind up in a place we call disintegration. That will break a body down all the way, that fear-based thinking. I like to explain it to people in the form of when the tiger used to chase us, we got away in a minute or two, or we got ate in a minute or two. But today we have a tendency to live our life as though the tiger is chasing us all day long, and it never quite catches us, and it never quite eats us. And that's why we're seeing all these things pop up in life, is that people have more and more ailments because it's just stress all day long. That's fear-based thinking. So what's the polar opposite to that? This is the cool part. It's faith. That is the answer to your fear. So how do we do faith in the conscious mind? Especially when we're talking about all the things that you all have to do, right? This is moving me toward my goal. This is how success is done, right? Good is coming from this. When you feel that stuff and you really take the time to feel that, subconscious mind receives that in the form of calm, focused, relaxed, and you're patient with yourself. What does that translate into the body? Well-being, at ease, acceleration, consistent action. That's growth. That's what we're meant to do. Y'all see the two differences? Same mind, just being used in two different directions, right? And I want to talk to you a little bit about what fear is for humans, because it's not what it is for animals. That, again, we're God's highest form of creation. We can process fear differently. But what do you all think fear is for us? Animals, we know it's fight, flight, or freeze, they say, right? I'm going to tell you what fear is for us. And I want you to, this is a very, very important part, because you're going to feel this as you begin to move forward in your life. Y'all are talking about growth. He had the growth circles out there. You're going to feel fear there. Fear is an indicator, and it's saying, pay attention. A decision needs to be made here. Is this a life or death situation? By all means, fight, flight, or freeze, let it go. But is this a growth moment? You're the only one that can tell the difference. And when you know that it's a growth moment, it can still be received in the form of, I need to fight, flight, or freeze. And you don't, you just got to step forward. The moment you step forward and you go do the thing that you needed to go do, you're going to feel the fear on the conscious level, but you know that nothing bad is going to happen for me. I'm going to receive what it is that I'm supposed to receive on the other side of that fear. And you're never going to receive it without punching through it. You can't hypothetically get it. You can't get it any other way. You have to punch through that, because that becomes the growth. You all get you get a picture of that one? It's so cool to really think about that in life, because it gives you a lot of power to go back and look at that thing and go, well, I have ran away from things, right? So you go, now when I feel fear, I'm going to pause for a moment and say, well, what is this? More often than not, you're going to find that the tiger's not chasing you, especially in your field. It's a growth moment. Just step forward. So how do we bring this down into today? I want action steps for today. I want to apply this to you today. And this is the interesting part about Shawn telling me that I was going to go first. So you're going to see this in the past tense, but that's okay. You got a lot of actions. I sat back there and I listened to everything that you got. And this is how we want to take this and apply it and begin to use mindset to move ourselves forward. You want to make note of the actions shared with you today and prioritize them according to which will have the greatest positive impact on you and your business. And that's going to be unique to every one of you. It might be a common thread out there, but whatever the case is, you want to make them. So when you're taking notes, you want to put the action up front of what you were told. Time block, right? What did we have? Reach outs. What do we have? Whatever it might be. You have these different ways for doing things. You have the notes, but you want to have the action at the top. When we're looking mindset, we're thinking, what is the action that we need to do, get ourselves to do? And then you're simply going to draw. We have paper right there. On the back, it's blank, and you want to draw a cross on that paper, which is so cool, right? You all talk about the cross and the power of the cross, right? When you're thinking about that action, remember your thoughts and your feelings, they're not just nothing, they're everything. That's what's going to dictate what you're going to be able to do. You want to write down what pains show up when you think about doing this. And that's not about, do you think that these pains are silly or whatever? No, it's not. It's just what pops up inside of you. That's actually the block right there, right? That's creating the fear. That's the problem that's showing up, why I can't go do the thing that I want to go do. The polar opposite of fear is faith. You want to write down, what are the good things to come from doing this? What happens if I get myself to do this consistently? It's the step before all the other steps. Oh, I was supposed to call people today. I didn't do enough reach outs today. We've all got to the end of the day, right? And we say that, but this is the step that actually makes it happen. And this is the thing that you want to do again and again and again. This is what's going to get you to do it. When you came into this world, you didn't know how to say your name, right? You messed it up for a long time until you got the hang of it. Now you don't search for any other names. That's the way we learn things, through constant space repetition. If you can't get yourself to do something, there's no shame in that. You have some kind of programming that's causing a bunch of fear to pop up first. It takes time and consistent switching to the faith that will allow you to move forward. So you're going to get so excited about it. Why are we doing what we're doing? All of that, right? Questions basket. I need to hand this thing around here. If anybody, did anybody write any down? No? Well, I'll put it out there, but does anybody have any questions or the courage to ask me questions about mindset? So I just gave you one step. It was very simple, right? Every action that you receive here, you're going to write down that action on a cross, and you're going to get the fears that you're feeling about that, and then the faith that you want to feel about that now as you move forward. And that becomes a practice. Mindset stuff is very simple in the form that it's not complicated things that we do. But because I'm so happy that it's becoming mainstream, we always put it last. So we go, I got to go make this phone call, or I got to go do this with my family, I got to do this thing. And we're never changing the one thing that we need to change to get different results. And that's what I want to plant in your head, is that what I'm sharing with you here is the key to do it. Well, the question basket isn't, but the cross that I shared with you there was the key to going out there and doing anything that you want to do. You want to start the gym in 2026, right? You want to start the gym in 2026. You want to make 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, as Shawn said. All of it is right there in that cross that I just shared with you. So you can't go back, can you? Any questions? Anybody just raise a hand? Anything about mindset? Anything you've heard? Jeff was talking about 369. I didn't know what that was. I've never done that before. What is a 369? So your 3 a.m., 6 manifestation method.
Write it down 6 times, and then before you go to bed, write it down 9.
Ah. Yeah. There's so many different ways for doing it. And we fall into a category of saying, well, I got to get the right way. But you have to finish that sentence. You want to get the right way for you, because there's infinite ways that you can actually do it. One of the ways that I like to do it is that you're just feeling as though you have it now. And that's not always easy, because it battles with what you are now. But you'll notice it is that a lot of times there's tension for where you are now. And when you go to your goal and you feel it now, you're at ease. It's simple. You start getting answers from there. I'll give you an example of a guy that I was working with, actually with health and fitness. He he had struggled in his first couple weeks in health and fitness, and he was in the mindset side of it with me to do it. And he came on his coaching call and he says, I'm so angry. I'm so frustrated. So this is the vibration that he's in. I says, well, tell me about that. And by the way, as a coach, we kind of get excited because your challenges is where you learn the most. When you're cruising along and you're doing really well, you're saying, I'm succeeding. Like, that's not when you're really learning a lot. It's when you're doing your challenges. So he says, last night I didn't have anything to eat and I went to In-N-Out. Right at the end of the night, he said, I ordered a full whatever and I ate all this. And he said, who does that? He said, I'm on this path that I want to do this. I said I wanted to do. And then I did that. And I said, okay, that's cool. And I said, let's go back to what I create for people is a dream scene. It's about the longest being about 10 seconds. When you succeed, something will happen for you and you'll know what it is. You'll feel it. And it's about 2 to 10 seconds. It's so simple too. You might turn to your spouse and you might give them a hug. You might be looking at the mirror with his weight loss. You actually look at the scale or you put the dress on or the pants on or something. But it's just a moment that you really feel. And this is how I work to answer your question. This is how I work with people. So for the previous 2 weeks, he'd been doing this. And I said, all right, let's just stop all that stuff. That doesn't feel so good. Feeling is just a word we invented to describe the vibration we're in harmony with. If you don't like it, stop feeling it. Feeling bad's never been a good thing for anybody. So we get out of that and he gets into his dream scene and he feels it slightly. And I said, how does he feel about it? And he paused and he looked through the Zoom and he goes, he doesn't care. And I said, well, why doesn't he care? And he said, because he's not going to do this again tomorrow or the next day. He's not going to do this again for maybe a couple of weeks. And tomorrow, he's going to fast for a while. He's going to work out twice this week. But did you see the vibrational shift there? Indifference is the knife that severs from what you don't want. You just become indifferent to it. Feeling is the tie that binds. And he was back into feeling his goal and he was getting answers from there. We go back to the beginning, what I was sharing with you, why you want to create your wild dream and feel as though you have that now, because you will be able to access that too and get answers. You'll pause and you'll consciously say, what do they do now? Frustrated about a situation? Wait a minute. Do they get frustrated? Well, you better do what they're doing. More often than not, no. Don't feel like making a phone call right now. Do they make the phone call? Ask them. They'll tell you. But that's because you've taken the time to visualize what it is that you want. And that's how we do it in the coaching. That's really all that I have for you. I'm sure that some of you might have, you can click forward there. Some questions at some point, feel free to reach out to me. And if you want to connect with us, one more. You got another one? That's the end of me. There's no more? Oh, there it is. I'm following instructions from my brother. If y'all want to connect with me, you want to schedule a call to discover what's holding you back in the mindset that will move you forward this year, that is where you want to go. You're going to find my mindset website there. You can schedule a call with me there. You can just book with me there. It's very simple. Now, Jen and I, this is my wonderful wife that I told you that I was listening to, and our family is we do a lot of fitness. This is something that we just created because we always run into people out there in the world that tell us, oh my gosh, I really wish that I could be fit. But here's my excuse. And, you know, it's time, can't do it, not in there, whatever. What Jen and I did is because we are fit and she's super fit. She's actually reverse engineering what she does because she didn't even know it was kind of on an unconscious level. And she's sharing it in that group. So it is a paid subscription group, but it is a very small subscription fee and you're allowed to come in there and spend time with us first. And what she's doing is saying, this is exactly what I'm doing. She's actually doing her workouts live. I'm doing them with her. They're recorded in the group. You can go back and you can do them. And we walk you through the coaching. You get my actual fitness program in there and it all works out to be like $8 a session. You can't get through Starbucks for $8, right? And that's the way we did it. And we're really proud of that one right there. And we'd love to have you come over if you want to see it. And if not, just reach out to us, connect with us, and we'll help you with anything. I'm passionate. My why is to be able to do what it is I am today. This is what means everything to me, is to wake people up to this idea that you're not stuck, you're not limited, you're connected to something that's infinite. And how do you connect to it is the way that I am teaching this stuff and what I'm so passionate about. Each and every one of you is a unique expression of spirit, that there's never going to be one like you, and there's never been one like you. So why would we ever go and feel bad about that? And my why is that I'm waking the world up to the wonderful each and every one of that you are and what you're actually connected to. So thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you take this information. I hope you put it to good use.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I was telling, I think someone back there about that I jumped into the group too, and it's pretty neat. And it's through Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the QR code there on the bottom for that. And you can jump into that. It's very, very easy on your budget. Those 135 forms, I'm going to challenge you all of you. Okay. Here's the deal. If you don't send it to me, I'll know, because I know who's here. Send it to me and Jenny together. CC us both on there. Send it to us. Let us help you with your goals in 2026. Don't be left behind. It's not worth it. It's not a place you want to be. You want to be up there. You want to get up there with us, with everyone. You want to be able to keep your production high. So I challenge you, send us your 135. Let us work with you on it. Let us help you finish it. Yep. Your big, wildly important goal, your 3 blanket items, and it's okay not to have the things on the bottom filled out. I don't expect you will. Mine aren't. I've still got some open spots on a few of mine for last year, for 2025. So if you're 2026, it's okay not to have them all. You shouldn't. If you fill them all out real quick, you're either a genius and you've probably got 100,000 people in your pipeline right now, or you're lying, because it's hard to fill it all out. And you've got to make sure you believe in your goals. So fill it out, scan it in, email it to us, and let us work with you on it. We'll kind of give you some ideas. We're going to stay right by your side. Thank you guys for doing this. If you have any questions, make sure you come out to us. We're here for you. Jenny?
Thank you guys for coming. I hope you guys got a lot of great information, and remember, mindset is everything. So I'm looking forward to some successful things happening to you guys in this new year to come. Thank you.
Throw a little go away music on there. Yeah, this is awesome. What's that go? Oh yeah. I'll go grab some of those books. Oh yeah. Yeah.